Hey guys, I'm going to get on here quick because, of course, the haters are alive and well. I had a horrible night last night. This device or whatever it is, I'm not labeling it because everybody jumps on the page and makes fun of me. Um, so I'll put that aside. It was horrible. I threw up. I was in horrible pain. This has been the worst place as far as whatever this is. Okay, but putting that aside, please don't go on my pages anymore and say leave New York. I actually had a woman come up to me in a parking lot and say, why don't you leave New York? And I will answer why you didn't leave New York. I'm posting some videos today about all across America. People are giving up. They're wondering what's going on. They can't afford rents. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford car insurance. They can't afford to keep a car on the road. Okay, things are bad across the board. We have young people in their 30s that are being outsourced, downsized, just like with me, reorganized because of AI. Now they want you to have a master's, and certainly the cost of living, you might go somewhere else, maybe make a few more dollars, but the cost of living is usually higher. And here in upstate New York, we do have the cost of living is a little lower. So to continue to tell people to go somewhere else is ridiculous. Educate yourself. Get off my page and stop with your harassment because I'm getting tired of it. And then people say, oh, you're removing comments. I remove comments because it's repugnant, because it's disgusting to be surviving and have people as you're their entertainment. When you grow up with nothing, you certainly can sense when I never bought jewelry, I never bought vacations, I never did this, never did that, but my ex-husband had a good old time. Okay, fine, you have a good old time. I was perfectly fine to sit home, work on my business at night, do the snow blowing while he was off at strip clubs in Canada, and yada, 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 and do the right thing because I knew hard times were coming. And these people descended like jackals on my property, destroyed garden that I used to lug out shale by hand, because gardening, keeping a pantry, these kinds of things, you can stay ahead of inflation. But even that today is getting hard, because if you buy when things are on sale and then you wait till they're on sale again, you can stay ahead of inflation. Certainly if you garden, certainly if you you make everything from scratch, and certainly if you have a family and you're able to do that, it does offset the cost of living, which I'm posting videos about how people are at wit's end of what's going on. And certainly, every time I was dragged into the police department, they would either call me a whore or go on and lecture me about Trump, which I didn't even know about President Trump. But it's very interesting now that as we go forward, now they're not so happy with President Trump. So as a sidebar, I'm not going to directly speak to that because, again, I'm not really that political. But I will post a couple videos on my community page, and you can take them for what they're worth, how people now are changing their tune about what's going on in the economy, certainly with housing, certainly with food, and certainly with healthcare. And I continue to struggle myself because as a 60-year-old woman, I had taken every step possible so I could support myself in old age. Not only did I have a career, but I had side hustles, I had my own business, I was selling my photography, I was writing, and I was doing other things. And these officers and the courts and the judges and the lawyers thought it was hilarious to roll up, steal my new entry-level car, have people destroy my garden, take my dog, destroy my property, which I made numerous reports, and they thought it was funny for me that I would go live in a parking lot and be a prostitute or a whore or what have you. So this is the kind of people you deal with when you go to these agencies, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's the local YWCA in Schenectady, whether it's these various agencies, and certainly the police department that continued to think it was funny. And the biggest line item we have in Amsterdam is the police department. They continue to get higher and higher wages, and this is what they continue to do. And I personally know from experience being dragged in there for nonsense and having watched them destroy my life completely, that took years of blazing a niche trail, because I was often barred from those click jobs that we have in Amsterdam. I had to drive upwards of an hour to Albany to pursue a career, to keep going, to put things up, have a pantry, teach myself to cook, because of course my mother didn't, and on and on and on. And then I get these people on my page constantly lecturing me, not being supportive, not being compassionate, Educate yourself, please. I will post a couple videos. I usually post about 3. And certainly the scams that are out there that I could be right now on the hook for $3,000 or $4,000, which I continue to point out about housing, because this is what the frat boys are doing. Not only stealing your brand new car, but then scamming you out of the security. Scamming you. Right now I'm sitting here with no refrigerator. So I just prayed. I did overbuy a little pizza. Because I didn't feel well. So now I'm sitting here praying that I don't throw that up, because you can't refrigerate anything. I can't cook anything. I can't do all the things that I did right to offset the hell that we're living in now. And if you talk to enough people, and you get out of your little shell, which is hanging around my YouTube page and trashing me and criticizing me and sticking up for abusers, which I'm not going to tolerate, you will see what's going on with other people in America. And it's just as bad, what I've been talking about, and it's just as horrible, and people are trying to survive. So please don't leave any more of your long-winded comments about somehow this means mental illness, because we certainly have a lot of people giving up and need of support and need of ideas and need of direction to go, because they are struggling with mental health issues. And certainly our police departments are no different and no better than anybody else as far as human beings struggling with mental health issues, and then being out there and rolling up and telling people they're crazy. And certainly that is not the way to address some of these issues. And certainly destroying things that are viable things that people have, whether it's their business, their car, their home, their clothes, their dog, and certainly sexually assaulting them and harassing them on top of it isn't the answer for anyone or anything. So I just wanted to get on here quick. I will post some more videos. I'm going to keep the one up about the current security situations with these people, because I continue to get scammed. They continue to think it's funny. I continue to struggle to try to find housing, and I had all this taken care of. And I continually to speak out about how difficult it is. It's hard enough for young people nowadays at 30 years old to be out there looking for jobs and trying to work and do the things they have to do, let alone a 60-year-old woman, that these people did it for entertainment. Yes, go live in the parking lot and turn tricks, and they thought that was hilarious. And now all of a sudden they're not so happy with President Trump. And I won't go too far into that, because my opinion is, yes, we asked these people what they did last week and they're in meltdown mode. But the rest of us, we're trying to survive, and do the best we can. And these people continue to laugh and joke and have a good time at others' expense. And certainly in my community, it was at my expense. And then their haters get on my page and repeatedly leave these repugnant replies and these long-winded diatribes about how crazy I am and I don't know what I'm talking about. Please get out of your shell, look at some videos and see what's going on in America. Be safe, guys.